food. The first thing I think of when I wake up. The last thing I think of before I fall asleep. It's all around us. It consumes our thoughts and defines our social lives. College. Freshman 15, sophomore 30. A place where our food lives begin to crumble. We eat terribly and our whole lives go downhill. But what if I told you there's students out there who balance stress and a healthy diet? Recently, the vegan lifestyle and diet has taken the world by storm, including college campuses. How do these students do it? How can you live on campus and keep a consistent vegan diet? How do you afford it and not starve with so little options?
I'm Alyssa Enoch. My crew and I have decided to go on a journey to find out what it means to be vegan on a college campus for a month. Before we get started, we're gonna get our body comps done to find out what being vegan does to your body before and after.
What do you eat? Do you just eat like salads, or like where do you get your protein?
So we got our testing done. The guy didn't want to be on camera. He did our body composition assessment. It was really interesting. I've never had that done before. He told us our body fat percentage. Mine was 26.2. The average should be about 20 to 25. So that means 33.5 pounds of my body weight is fat. That's kind of gross, but it's whatever, I guess. The health specialist told us that through the vegan diet, most people see a decline in fat, but also muscle mass, which isn't necessarily a good thing.
We don't need as much protein as what most people think. It's about 0.8 to 1 gram per kilogram of body weight, which is totally doable with plant-based proteins. But if you are mostly eating a diet that is carbohydrate, you could potentially not be getting enough protein in your diet. That's probably going to increase your fatigue.
Here it is. I got the Italian red vegan chicken. I've never had vegan chicken. Dairy-free cheese, spinach, sun-dried tomatoes. I'm about to smash.
How is it?
It's not bad.
Rating?
I'll give it another 9 out of 10. I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because there's not real cheese on it.
The main thing for any college student is you just don't really have the time to cook. And a lot of people, especially if you're living in a dorm style, you don't really have the resources of a normal kitchen. So it can be hard to prepare those meals. Fast food is typically a thing that a lot of college students gravitate toward.
You can make Taco Bell a convenient vegan option, which all of that is fine if you're doing that on occasion, but you don't want that to be, what you're existing on.
I mean, people always say it costs a lot of money to be a vegan. I don't think that's necessarily true, but I think it takes a lot of time and a lot of resources, and that's something that a lot of people don't have access to.
We're on our way to our first Kroger trip, not chip. See, I'm already thinking about chips.
My wallet's not going to be happy.
No, it's not. So let's see how expensive this is. We're ready. Holy shiz, man. That's a no. Is that cheese?
Yeah. Halak paneer.
It looks like tofu. Ew, I hate tofu. What would you even do with it?
You fry it.
Yeah, but with what? That's cool. Like, I have a microwave.
Flour.
Parmesan cheese. This is vegan. It says it on the back. Ah! A win! Let's see. Another win! So this is Kashi. That's a good brand to be looking out for. Kashi. I have a Kroger card.
Yeah, she scanned one for me anyways.
That's 3 bags of groceries for $45.40. And it'll probably last me a week.
In high school, it definitely was a lot more difficult because my family was pretty opposed to it. So I would just be vegan at school, and when I was at school, there wasn't a whole lot of options. Basically, anywhere you go, any restaurant at college, I'm able to find stuff to eat, and I'm able to eat a healthy variety. I mostly eat on campus, and I buy all my stuff at like the stores that are around it, like the convenience store and Wright.
It always kind of made me upset that they had like soy milk, but they don't have like almond milks in the little packages. Because almond milk's so much better for you too, but they're pretty soy dedicated. Hey, can I get a side of fries?
Side fries? Yeah.
And then for your garden burger, it says ask about vegan options.
Yeah, we have a vegan burger.
Oh, you do?
Would you like it entirely vegan or just the patty vegan?
Entirely vegan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So garden burger, vegan. What can I get for you?
Hi, what drinks do you have that don't contain dairy? Because don't your ice drinks like the powder?
Yeah, no, anything with powder is gonna have dairy in it. We can do, if you want like an iced coffee, we can just mix in like, we have horchata syrup, peppermint, is that it? Oh, and pecan syrup, and pumpkin. Or we can do like an iced tea. Flavored iced tea.
Okay. This is a huge bread for a tiny little. The bread is terrible. So I'm not gonna eat the bread. I'm just gonna eat this. It really doesn't taste like much. I probably won't order this again. Unless I'm like starving, I guess.
There can be different options with the vegan diet, but for some people, they are pretty bland and not appealing. A lot of the times, you find people resorting to unhealthy options, or even worse, not eating enough.
It's been 11 days. I'm okay. I'm just tired of it and want to get on with my life.
How was Easter?
Easter was interesting, especially when it's so based around food. Watching everyone else eat was hard because they had no vegan options. It's because it's an old restaurant and it's, I'm not gonna lie, it's mainly for older people. So I drank Diet Coke and I got to eat fried pickles. That was my Easter.
What is like your basic meal these days?
I'm eating a lot of French fries, too many. My face actually hasn't been breaking out too bad. I thought it would because of this. And a lot of oatmeal. I have been eating some of my frozen stuff, but it's definitely not adding up to like 2,000 calories a day. I can tell because it'll be 8 o'clock at night and I'll be starving, like starving. I've been substituting like the void in my heart with soda, and I try not to drink that much soda, but it's kind of hard right now because I need something to like get me going throughout the day. I know I could be eating better, it's just, it's definitely not easy or cheap, and campus hasn't been that helpful along the way. As someone who has to eat on campus because I live in a dorm, it's really inconvenient for me. It's definitely not easy. There's not a lot of choices, and even if there are choices, those choices aren't good. Like, we just ate at Wells and it was terrible. I can't imagine being a student that's vegan on campus, like, every day.
Hi. We're at this Japanese place. I don't even like sushi, but for some reason I got sushi and I got talked into coming here. So I'm eating vegan sushi. I think vegan sushi just means there's not any meat or anything in it. There's cucumber, asparagus, and then I'm using lots of soy sauce. I'm at work. But hi, my boss bought me brownies because I had a really rough week last week, but I can't even have them. But I'll be able to eat them in like 4 days, so that's good.
So we just got our body comps done. There wasn't a lot of change overall. I think my body fat percentage went up 1%, which I mean isn't a big difference or anything, but I'm sure we would have seen a lot more changes if we continued with the vegan diet for a longer amount of time. So it's been a long, hard month, and it made me realize that it's a little too difficult, and I don't think I'm ready to take that on in my life, being vegan. It was definitely difficult being on a college campus. There weren't a lot of options. I was getting tired of eating the same things over again. I wasn't looking forward to eating, and I would find myself hungry all the time because I wasn't eating the right things. I do think being vegan is great, and it's something I would love to take on eventually down the line. It's great for the environment, it's good for your overall health, as long as you're doing it right.
I think initially a lot of people see veganism as like a health thing, and then they go vegan, but then they discover like all these other issues. So, I don't know, I think if it leads them to veganism, then it's not really a wrong reason.
I think that if you are to follow a vegan diet appropriately, it can be done. However, you have to have a very healthy mindset, and you have to be very motivated.